Nightflyers is a horror sci-fi show based on a short story written by George R.R. Martin, or maybe a novella. And it is, it takes place in space and like 1,000 years in the future, and our planet is kind of dying, and they found this distant space race, like there's some sort of being out there. They have to try to, and Nightflyer's goal is to get there and try to establish contact with them and maybe get them to help the humanity, save our world somehow. And it's pretty good at times. At other times, it's kind of goofy.
Our world is dying, but maybe we can save our families, save our home. The Nightflyer is our only chance.
And that's what scares me.
Ready to break orbit. Systems ready, sir.
Waited my whole life for this.
So the SyFy channel did something kind of interesting with this, where they essentially, instead, it's almost like streaming, like you could kind of binge it, but they did essentially for 2 weeks. They had, 5 nights in a row. They had, an episode each night, and it's a good way to watch it like that. You can't quite binge it unless you like. I did. I watched the first episode, and then I let them episodes build up a little bit. Then I watched like 4 and 3 in a row. It did grab me at time, at a certain point. But I think that it does some odd things. Like the first episode is probably one of the worst episodes, just because right off the bat you're not really sure what it's going for. Like they have essentially like a flash forward, like to begin with. So everything's horrible, and you see a person like kill herself with guy like The Shining coming after her with an axe in space, and then you get back to what happened? How do you get there? And I don't love when a movie or a show does that, but fine. However, my biggest problem with the first episode is that it kind of just drops you right into this world. Like there's really no setup, and there's really not that much exposition. You're given all this stuff to know, like the L1s and L2s, and there are these psychics which everyone hates because they cause horrible accidents, and there's all this stuff to figure out that is almost like too much. They kind of barrage with all this info. Then you also have stuff going on with the Nightflyer. There's stuff right from the beginning, stuff's already going wrong with the ship. And you don't know, and the main guy is seeing his dead daughter, and you don't know what's going on. But then after the first episode, I think you kind of get some stuff going on. But I still think one thing throughout the whole show that is kind of the most weird and kind of annoying thing is that characters are fully evil for an episode. And then, the next episode, everyone loves them and they're fine with them. This happens for multiple characters for multiple times in the show, and it's he just murdered people. Why do you like him? But, shouldn't he be in jail, or shouldn't you have killed him? Oh, okay. I guess you're fine with it. And it's it happens multiple times. And it's if you're going to do that, I don't know if you make it so that not everyone hates him so much in that episode, or maybe that they're not so evil in that episode. It's weird. It's they forget that, he has to be around for the rest of the series. We have to make it so he's not fully evil. And it's kind of odd. When it does, the space horror stuff, it's well done. I mean, there are some jump scares, but they're well crafted jump scares, and it is creepy at times. Although at a certain point, all the creepiness really mostly just becomes explained, so then it's not that creepy. But I mean, there's each character has a role in the team to play. You have the technophile person that goes into computers and creates virtual realities and has to talk to the whatever's in the ship. and you have like the scientist that's trying to figure out how to talk to him, and you have, they have all these different ones, the psychic, the perfect woman that's genetically engineered, and when they do the stuff with the team and the team building, I like a lot of it. But then a couple times like they'll do like a time jump in one episode to the next, and it's just like kind of goofy. I think my favorite parts of this series was just like the one-off episodes. Every once in a while they have a one-off episode and they'd be really good. And then they have another episode that, about the whole story, which is kind of a letdown. And then for the finale doesn't really quite make sense. Like, I'm not sure what they're really going for. And that's why it felt like it would have worked better as a short story or novella, like it originally was from George R.R. Martin. But as a show, it wasn't a satisfying end. And that's kind of the biggest letdown, like what it did towards the end. And again, like with characters being villains, like they make choices that I just didn't get. Like, so many times characters would make choices that wouldn't make any sense. And it'd just be like they're being completely evil at times. And it's like, and they're no one cares the next time. And that's the most frustrating parts of the show for me. I'd probably give the whole show like a 7 out of 10. But some episodes are really good, and at this time it's just really annoying. And I wouldn't highly recommend it, but if you like, the horror sci-fi, like the space horror, there's a lot that you would like in this show. It's just other parts that you wouldn't, possibly. But thanks for watching. Should I either play it from my head or scratch me net Z over there. Thanks.